You sing a great deal.
Yes, I do. Music lifts my spirit. Would you like me to stop?
I didn't say that. Was that part of your chant?
No, it was a ballad about a highwayman and the tavern girl who loved him. Could you not tell?
All your language sounds the same to me. I thought you were singing of vegetables, actually.
Lay your hand on me once more, dwarf, and the moment shall be your last.
Don't take it personally. I stepped on a rock. You don't want me to fall and break my neck, do you?
The prospect would not trouble me overmuch.
You sound just like Bronca.
Then I commend her good sense. But this is the last time I will tell you. Touch me no more.
Bronca said that too.
I imagine you have already composed a suitable ballad to commemorate the events at Redcliffe, Leliana.
Why would I do such a thing?
You have taken up your instruments once again, have you not? So to speak. A bard takes events of great import and puts them to tale.
What happened at Redcliffe was horrible. So many people died, and they were violated by unimaginable evil forces.
That was not so difficult, was it? You may wish to add music, however.
You make it sound as if you enjoyed what happened there. I can barely stomach to think of it.
But we were successful in the end. Victory without cost has little worth.
I just think of what that poor little boy went through. No, I don't want to glorify what happened there.
Then who will learn from these events? I would think on it some more, were I you.
Have you ever thought of getting yourself a husband, Morrigan? It might do you some good, you know.
Tie myself to another with bonds of servitude. It serves no purpose.
Aw, don't you want little Morrigans running around someday? The pitter-pat of little witchy feet.
You say that as if one is necessary for the other to follow. My mother needed no husband to have her daughters.
But you're no ugly old forest witch. I'm sure you can land yourself a proper husband if you just show a bit more skin.
Is that how you landed your own wife? No wonder she turned to her own sex for comfort.
Now that's just mean.
You are very beautiful, Morrigan.
Tell me something I do not know.
But you are always dressed in such rags. It suits you, I suppose. A little tear here, a little rip there to show some skin. I understand.
You understand I lived in a forest, I hope?
Maybe we could get you in a nice dress one day. Silk. No, maybe velvet. Velvet is heavier, better to guard against the cold in Ferelden. Dark red velvet. Yes. With gold embroidery. It should be cut low in the front, of course. We don't want to hide your features.
Stop looking at my breasts like that. 'Tis most disturbing.
You don't think so? And if it's cut low in the front, we must put your hair up. Show off that lovely neck.
You are insane. I would sooner let Alistair dress me.
It'll be fun, I promise. We'll get some shoes too. Shoes! We could go shopping together. So, you truly do not believe in any sort of higher power?
It has been bothering you, I see. No, I do not. Must I?
What do you believe happens to you after you die, then? Nothing?
I do not go to sit by the Maker's side, if that's what you mean.
Only those who are worthy are brought to the Maker's side. So many other sad souls are left to wander in the void, hopeless and forever lost.
And what evidence of this have you? I see only spirits, no wandering ghosts of wicked disbelievers.
It must be so sad to look forward to nothing, to feel no love and seek no reward in the afterlife.
Yes, the anguish tears at me so. You have seen through me to my sad, sad core.
Now you're simply mocking me.
You notice? It appears your perceptive powers know no bounds. You are a disgusting creature, dwarf. Did you believe I would not see you? That scarf was my own.
Ah, I had to blow my nose. Blasted surface air tickles the nostrils.
You had no right to take what was not yours.
Don't be such a squealing nug. You can use my handkerchief anytime.
If you have a handkerchief, then why not use it?
Too dirty. Yours was cleaner.
Oh, this is intolerable. Don't force me to test that dwarven resistance of yours, fool.
Promises, promises.
Do you have any tales of the wilds?
None of the sort you like. No princesses in tall towers or knights throwing themselves at whole armies.
That's not all I like.
Do you want tales of the chastened wilders who dwell in the marsh? Do you want to hear of the slow deaths they inflict on their enemies? Perhaps a tale of the poisonous creatures of the wilds that lay their eggs on your skin so their young may eat you alive when hatched? Or a tale of my mother's marsh cuisine? That, in my opinion, is the most terrifying of all my tales.
No, I don't want to hear about those things.
Then I have no tales for you.
Let me ask you this then, Morrigan. What if there really was a maker?
Then I would wonder why he has abandoned his creation. It seems terribly irresponsible of him.
He left us because we were determined to make our own way, even if we hurt ourselves. And he could not bear to watch.
But how do you know? You cannot ask him this. Perhaps he has gone to a new creation elsewhere and abandoned this as a dismal failure best forgotten.
I do not need to know, because I have faith. I believe in him and feel his hope and his love.
Faith. How quickly those who have no answers invoke that word.
How can someone who practices magic have so little capacity to believe in that which he cannot see?
Magic is real. I can touch it and command it, and I need no faith for it to fill me up inside. If you are looking for your higher power, there it is.
But only if you can control it. I do not envy the loneliness you must feel at times, Morrigan.
Leave me be. Loneliness would be preferred to this endless chatter.
You're such a handsome dog. I think that every time I look at you. Lady Cecily, I lived with her after my mother died, had a dog. A small one bred to fit under the arm and in the lap. What did she name it? Oh yes, Bonbon. Oh, Bonbon was a terror. He would hide, you know, when he saw you coming. And then he would attack your ankles. Rather sharp teeth in the ankles. Very painful. He attacked me once. Latched onto my leg. I thought it was a diseased rat and kicked. Bonbon flew across the room and over the banister. He survived. But he never came near me after that. I have been setting down in ink the tales of our exploits, and I have been thinking about ways to describe you. You are unlike any animal I have ever met, almost human in your intelligence and understanding. So, let me see. You're loyal, yes? That one is obvious. Very, very clever. This is also obvious. You are terrifying when you have to be, but gentle and sweet as a dove at other times. And you are also playful. Sometimes gluttonous. No? What is all this begging for food scraps then? Well, all right. You're not gluttonous. You're just a lover of fine foods. How's that?
So I am led to understand that the sister is a follower of this maker.
Am I the sister? Oh, that's so cute. It's like you're my big brother. Or sister. Or whatever.
I was a dwarf in life, so I doubt such a thing would even be possible.
Oh, I didn't mean literally. Don't you think that people can be related in spirit?
I notice that humans tend to believe in a great number of things that are not true, even when given evidence to the contrary.
Believing in things when there is no proof is what faith is all about, Shale.
Believing in things when there is no proof is what gullibility is all about.
So I am gullible now.
I take it we are no longer sisters in spirit.
I did not realize that you were a woman.
That is because I am not. I am a golem.
But you were once a woman and a dwarf. Doesn't that mean anything to you?
The bard speaks of someone who lived and died 5 centuries ago. What have I in common with her?
You share a soul.
I do not. It talks in riddles. Desist or I shall crush its head.
Do you miss the life you once had, Shell? These centuries of memories you have lost?
Does it miss being within its mother's womb?
Do I... Well, no. I don't remember that far back.
It is no different. My memory stretches only so far, and what went before is now lost.
And you remember nothing at all? Not even a little bit?
There are images, faces who I have no names for, places I remember being, but not where they are. Do I miss these things? They are without context. I feel only disquiet when I think of them.
Like dreams, then. When you awake, all the details have fled.
Is that what it is to dream? Then yes, perhaps it is like that.
How very sad. To discover your entire life has been a forgotten dream. I am so sorry.
Why does the bard stare at me so?
I was thinking of writing a song about you. The statue with a heart of gold. Or something like that.
It thinks my heart is made of gold. It is stone as anything else. Cold stone.
I meant that you had a good heart. It seems to me that you do.
And they call this having a heart of gold? Why?
Because gold is precious and shiny and a good heart is just as valuable.
Shiny.
In a matter of speaking.
My heart does not qualify as shiny. I kill, frequently, and not without pleasure.
You have had a difficult life. Deep down at the center of your being, you are a good person. I believe that.
Even though I have never demonstrated this aspect? How peculiar.
You aren't all stone, Shell. There is a person inside of you.
If so, it is because I ate him.
I do not understand why you hate birds so much.
It is because I had to endure their chirping, their perching, and most especially their constant
No, I understand that part, but they were just being what they are.
Exactly. Disgusting vermin with wings. Darkspawn must be exterminated for being what they are as well.
But a bird is a creature of grace and beauty. They open their mouths and they sing.
The bard hears music. I hear a wail of banshees that boils my blood.
But what about a nightingale? Or a swan?
They're not pigeons, it is true. Still, evil beasts of the sky.
I give up.
You ate my entire bag of herbs, you foolish dog. Do not think I am unaware of where it went. It is your own fault for being so entirely gluttonous. Several of those herbs were poisonous. You should be pleased they did not kill you. Do not be ridiculous. I am certainly not going to give you more, even if I did have more to give. Oh, you have some nerve, creature, and your breath leaves much to be desired. Off you go. We shall see. I promise nothing. Another? I just gave you one, fool dog. Perhaps you should go and hunt something then. For a warrior beast, you are remarkably over-dependent. Oh, very well. But tell no one.
They say the Mabari is clever enough to speak and wise enough to know not to. Tell me, my friend, does this saying apply to you? Are you capable of speech and simply choose not to speak? Sometimes I think the world would be a much friendlier place if we could learn some things from animals. Nothing in the animal kingdom can match the worst qualities of humanity.
We have dogs in Antiva. They run in the streets and eat garbage. It's true. They're treated as vermin mostly. Not like here in Ferelden. You're rather lucky to live here, you know. Indeed. Here they make statues of dogs. They carve you into their thrones and put armor on you. Amazing, really. But you still smell like a dog. In fact, you smell like several dogs. Yes, well, ignorance is bliss, I suppose. I noticed some dog drool in my pack this morning. Not that I like to make accusations, and I even appreciate the artistry behind a good burgle when I see it, to tell the truth. But leaving all that drool as evidence? Sloppy. I'll take that as an apology. I'm so glad you're pleased. It really is quite something to find such enthusiasm in one's companions. I agree. Go team. Hurrah! I couldn't help hearing about your predicament. Forgive me if I'm prying.
Yes, you are.
But what does it feel like being possessed by a spirit?
Why does this interest you so?
I simply wish to get to know those that I travel with. Is that wrong of me?
No, of course it isn't. Well, let me see. It is hard to describe. It is comforting. I feel safe. Loved.
Comforted. Loved, yes.
It is like being held close. Cradled. The bond is so complete that I am unable to extricate myself. Nor do I wish to. Wait. Why do you have that look on your face?
I am simply imagining it. Continue, please.
And there is a constant warmth that spreads outwards from the very center of my being, infusing my body with...
Oh...
Andraste's grace, what are you thinking about now? No, I don't want to know. I feel dirty. Do not speak to me. You are a handsome canine specimen, aren't you? Yes, you are. Oh, but look at that tiny, stubby tail. Would you like a nicer tail? I could give you a long, swishy tail if you like. Just a wave of a wand and poof, tail. You'll adore it, I promise. Or maybe you would like to be a different color. We could spice up that drab brown with some red or blue, perhaps even violet. Oh, dogs need to be pretty too, don't they? Yes, you want to be pretty, pretty dog. That's right, you just love attention, don't you? And you want antlers, a big swishy tail and hey! He made off with my staff. Perhaps I underestimated his intelligence.
Has the Elder Mage ever encountered another golem?
I suppose there used to be one deactivated one stored in the tower's vault. I wonder what became of it. After all that's happened to the Circle, I'd be surprised if it isn't completely destroyed.
Why was it deactivated? Did it crush some arrogant mage's head after one too many commands?
I do not know, Shale. Perhaps it is just irreparably broken. I think it stayed in the tower because no one could move it. It is very, very old. I believe it came from Tevinter a long time ago. Perhaps someone bought it so it would guard the tower.
Its people do enjoy their slaves, don't they?
It was not a slave. It is a...
A tool. As I thought. No, don't deny it. No.
Have you given thought to perhaps prolonging your life by forcing another spirit into your service?
Of course not.
I would. Of course, I am still young, beautiful, and my life is my own, while you are bound to that circle. I wonder why I asked. It would be a silly thing, prolonging your life. A waste.
Think what you will, Morrigan. When the end comes, I will go gladly to my rest, proud of my achievements. While you you will see how empty your life was. You will realize that because you never had love for others, you never received love in return. And you will die alone and unmourned.
You speak of meaningless things. I need no one to mourn me, old woman.
More's the pity.
Would the Swamp Witch consider explaining the nature of magic to me? I am most curious.
Surely there is another who would not be so bothered by your tiresome questions. Perhaps Alistair?
I fear the second warden has not the knowledge to answer my question.
You might ask him anyhow. Certainly whatever he happened to come up with would serve as amusement.
I do not understand. I seek enlightenment and not amusement.
You're apt to get much further seeking amusement, I assure you.
The Swamp Witch is a most confusing creature. I do not understand it.
You're not the first one to say so. First Gollum, perhaps.
I will ask the Swamp Witch later, when it is less inclined to make bizarre responses to my queries.
You will be waiting some time then, I fear. You must be vastly relieved, Wynne.
Relieved? I do not understand what you mean.
Most your age would spend much of their time preoccupied wondering when they might perish. Yet you already know.
Eavesdropping is not considered very polite, dear.
A fortunate thing, then, that I do not consider myself bound by such rules.
In response to your question, I know only that I died once. I do not know how much time I have left, only that it is very little.
That is not so very different than before, surely. You are an old woman.
One who keenly appreciates that our time in this world should be spent doing what is important.
I have always lived by such a philosophy.
How reassuring.
I would still like to know how the Swamp Witch learns its forms.
Eager, are you not? Does the golem wish to become human after all?
A human is a soft and weak form. I desire no such thing.
Then why the interest in shape-changing? Unless you secretly wish to become something other than what you are.
Is that why the Swamp Witch learned? To escape her form?
In a way. It was lonely to grow up in the wilds. To join with the forest, to become one with its denizens. There was a freedom in that.
I think it would be an excellent talent for disguises.
Or perhaps to walk through doors without hitting one's head.
Yes, exactly.
Well, 'tis not a good enough reason.
I have thought about what you said before, Shale. About slavery.
It is profitable, so I am led to believe.
It is wrong. And it is no more right to make a slave out of a golem. I think no one understood how golems were made, Shale. Perhaps we should have suspected, but no one knew. Golems were like spells. Useful.
I am useful. I'm better than any fireball, that I'm sure of.
It's not the same thing. When this is over, I will make certain that the Circle of Magi knows the truth. Your people should not be treated as objects.
I have no people. I mentioned the slavery because I knew it would be bothered. No other reason.
But it still deserves to... You are a very perverse creature, you know this?
It almost wishes it had a control rod, no? The Swamp Witch has been looking at me oddly. Stop it, or I will crush its tiny bird-like head.
I am simply finding it difficult to believe that there is a woman inside of there.
A woman who is also a warrior, and a dwarf.
Yes, that would explain a great deal.
What is a good enough reason?
For which?
It said that my reason for learning more of shape-changing was not good enough. What reason would be?
I do not know. Tell me what it is and I shall decide.
It could simply decide any reason was insufficient then.
You find that maddening, do you?
It has a bird-like nature to its sadism, I'll give it that.
Good. Let us leave it that way.